Saint and I stood on the lower level of the passage between the courtyard and the bazaar. We both looked over the global scans as we planned our moves.
I have 6 guardians holding the Exodus Black. 4 more are stationed in the Hallows to protect the conflux there. Those are the 2 most important assets we have at the moment. I called in more fire teams, and they will land with you in the cistern so you can shut down that gate.
We will need some serious firepower to take back that gate. What is the composition of these other fire teams?
I'll accompany you in the cistern. Saint, perhaps you can fortify the Exodus Black and then push them back into the glade? Once we attack the gate and cut off reinforcements, we can trap them there.
Agreed. I will have...
Saint stopped and looked past Ikora. We all turned to see 2 more warlocks joining our group. I could see the young redhead wasn't in the same mood as she was when we last talked. Saint didn't say a word, though. He looked at Ikora.
You are testing my patience, young lady. I do not have the time for a dissertation on this matter. The best way you can help is to stay in the tower and...
I know. I stepped in it real good. Aside from the Titan here, I know the most about that gate. If we have any chance at shutting it down, you'll need me on that team.
She turned to me with a look that I'd never seen from her before. She seemed desperate to find a way to get back in Ikora's good graces. She nervously stood as tall as she could and continued. I was not about to stand here and be a doddering simp for this warlock's redemption quest. Not after that condescending lecture she threw at me.
I need to get my equipment straight before we go. And I'll see you on the ground, Ikora.
The young, snotty warlock grabbed my arm. I pulled away from her.
You gonna give me another lecture on loadouts? Well, I don't have time to read the paper and verify all your citations. Fallen are dying right now, and it's our fault.
Wait!
You still don't get it, do you? Saint, Ikora, I'm sorry for this. I don't want you on my fire team. I don't have time to codify all the tactical decisions I'll make and submit them to the committee so that you can factor in enough variables to arrive at the most efficient time and way to fix the mess you caused. Fallen are dying right now, and every second we stand here waiting for an apology that will never come is another body we have to bury. Now, if you'll excuse me, Saint, as long as the committee has nothing further to discuss.
I ran to my vault and quickly switched my armor to an offensive support setup. I knew we'd need big damage output in a short period of time to close the gate. The Vex could keep dropping troops on top of us if we didn't hit them as hard and as quick as possible. That's when I felt her come up behind me. I didn't even have to turn around to know she was standing there. She didn't say anything for a bit. I grabbed my favorite auto rifle and Wither Horde to go with my rocket launcher.
Ward of Dawn is a better choice than Sentinel Shield. You can hold ground better with the bubble.
I didn't even respond. It's what she wanted. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of another emotional reaction. She already got to me twice. I kept scrolling through my vault, waiting for her to leave.
There's a big tank on the backside of the gate, and if...
I closed my vault, pushed past her, and jogged to the hangar. She was right behind me the whole way. Amanda had already cleared me for launch. I pulled out my ghost and was ready to transmit out when she came up behind me again and handed me a piece of paper.
You can boost the thrust efficiency of your engine with these updates. Your ghost should be able to implement them.
I snatched the paper from her hand, stiffly crumpled it, and let it fall from my hand as I stared angrily back at her. Damn it all. I looked into those deep green eyes, ready to skewer her again for her foolishness. She looked back at me, almost pleading for me to just listen to her, to maybe give her one more chance. Why did I suddenly get the feeling that I had to forgive her?
I know exactly how this all started. Look,
She bent down and picked up the crumpled piece of paper from the launch deck. As she attempted to straighten it flat again, I could feel a deep pain in her soul. I could tell she was hurting. I gently reached out and took the paper from her. I carefully folded it again and tucked it into my chest piece. That steely, fierce look surged back into her eyes as she looked at me with a new resolve.
The longer you stand here, the more Vex you have to deal with. Now go. And don't let me catch you sloughing, or I'll have to really show you how Warlocks fight.
Not with a sidearm, you won't.
What are you standing there with your gob open for? Get going!